Greetings all, I'm Ponyfan and welcome back. Before the video starts, lots of movement and flashing. If that bothers you, please leave. This video isn't the video I had planned for this week. It was actually meant to be a backup video I was working on for when I couldn't post. I was supposed to use this one. Of course, I needed a backup way sooner than I thought. Because right at the end of the speed paint for this week, the original one, Krita crashed. It was technically my fault it crashed. I knew it was running out of storage, but I was really close to the end, so I was hoping I could just push it a little further and finish the video. But instead it crashed and forgot my projects, which wasn't a really big deal because they were still saved in my docs, so I could still access them from their last save point. So that wasn't the problem. The problem was the way Krita records. It records by taking an image of every time your paintbrush touches the canvas. Then it needs ffping to take those images and turn them into a video. The problem was, since Krita forgot about my projects, I couldn't export them and turn the images I already had into a video through ffping. So I had to take all the images, which was 7,000 by the way, and separate them into groups of 1,000 and throw them into CapCut and turn them into videos, which was taking forever and I was running out of time. So I went and used this backup video instead. Which, good news, is now I know what next week's video is going to be. Now that I've gone on that little tangent, let's talk about the art. If you're on Tumblr and part of the Danny Phantom fandom, then you've probably seen this. Not sure why I told you that, but I did. Anyway, for the longest time I wanted to do a Ghost King Danny art, and I originally wanted to do it in a throne room or something, but that seemed like too much work, so instead I did this. I had my brother actually pose for the reference art, so to me it kind of just a bit looks like him, minus all the ghostly parts. You might not notice, but humanoids aren't my forte. I'm just really bad at drawing them. And Danny is a human. Well, half human. Figured I'd just say that so you don't expect a masterpiece here. The image itself is of Danny, mostly his upper body, with him holding the crown of fire, and his head leaning down looking at it, which I didn't quite get right. The angle's a little off. Or the hair is not quite right either, I'm not sure. Something's just not right about it. The crown turned out amazing though. Like, it's definitely my favorite part of the whole image. I just love how it looks. Especially the abstract swirls I had going with the fire. And also the jewels turned out really cool looking. At first I tried giving him full armor, but I didn't really like how that looked. It kinda looked like a knight giving the crown to the king. So I lessened some of the armor to shoulders and knee pads. The gloves also look like armor, but that was unintentional. It was just a shading mistake. But I kinda liked it, so I left it. And of course I had to have his outer space cape. It's alright, I'm not really good at drawing galaxies, which is strange because I'm pretty sure I've drawn like 5 at this point. But I really haven't improved. Maybe one day I should just sit down and try drawing a really detailed galaxy. I did think the cape looked a little separated from the body though. The outer side of the cape is supposed to be white, which you can only really see because of the wrapped part around his neck. I did debate doing it with a third trim, but that's kind of a really common trend in this fandom. And I wanted to do something slightly more unique, so instead I made it look like, well, I'm not really sure what it would be called. It's just kind of tied around his neck. I kept the suit pretty much the same, black and white, just because I like it that way. Alright, I should talk about the face. I really didn't like how it turned out, not just because the angle is off, but it just doesn't quite look right to me. In truth, I think it's the hair. I really tried with it, but it turned out really strange to me, and hair is just something I don't have a lot of experience with, especially for the style I was going for. Like previously mentioned, the color palette did stay the same, except I did have some trouble with his skin. I think I made it a little too light. When he's Phantom, his skin is darker than when he's Danny. And I tried color picking, but it just really looked kind of this muddy gray color when I did that, so instead I just eyed it, and I believe it was too light. Luckily, the shading did help. I tried to make it very intense, especially since the crown is giving off a green light, so all his features are kind of glowing green, especially around the face. I also did his armor, but shading metal's always been a bit of a difficult for me. And finally, the background. It's just an abstract blob of colors. I kind of made it look like space, but not a galaxy. I didn't want it to clash with the cape. And then I put the glowing letters, Long Reign the King, which, fun fact, I messed it up the first time, where I made it Long Rage the King. And I wasn't even the one to catch it. It was my brother. I showed him the piece after I was done. After I chased him around the house and tackled him. I finally forced him to see it, and he realized what it said and pointed it out to me. So I went back and changed it. Alright, this is the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in gaming videos, go check out my second channel, Ponyfan Gaming. Link in the description. And while you're down there, don't forget to leave a comment, maybe on what you want to see next. Until next time, this is Ponyfan saying bye.